Hi, Cosmic Intelligence Agency fans, Facebook fans, wherever you are in the world. For some reason, I can't hear you. We're supposed to be live here. Hold on a second. Can you hear me? I need to know if somebody's out there, if you can hear me. So please, if you're there, let me know if you can hear me or not. Okay. I'm not scheduled to go until 8:30 p.m. That's I'm in Toronto, Canada here in Eastern Daylight Time. Say hi. Okay. I can see myself there. Can anybody else see me? Can you please please wave back, say hi if you're on there. I need to know if you can see me or not, please. Let's see, I can look at my phone here. Now, the CIA, the Cosmic Intelligence Agency main page has had a glitch. They've had actually technical difficulties and they've been down because of Saturn and Pluto sitting on their ascendant. You know, astrology is real and it does manifest as real things. And, you know, Mars is going to get to go retrograde next week. So we got to prepare for that. Okay. So for some reason, I can't see if anybody's there. It says that I'm live. It says that there's 88 people on there. Let's see. Can somebody please say hi so I know that you're there? Okay. Comment moderation not set. Okay. Can somebody please say hi? So I know that I'm not just shouting into the void. Okay. I'm Agent 129, Tara Greene, Cosmic Intelligence Agency. Welcome to September's Astrology and Tarot Preview. Okay. I'm just going to wait a little bit to see if other people are going to come on. Sometimes I find this a little tricky here on Facebook, and you know, they keep changing things up, of course, so just be patient with me here. Okay, can somebody please say hi? I don't know if Yulia from the Cosmic Intelligence Agency is out there watching from Australia, from Melbourne. Usually she is. Okay, I want to keep going here. All right, so September. If you haven't been to this page before, it says going live here. One of them says it is live, one of them says I am live. Okay. All right, so I'm going to wait another minute here. My clock, my computer here says that it's 8:29 p.m. That's in Eastern Daylight Time. So welcome wherever you're joining in from any parts of the world. I'm very happy to be here to bring you September's astrology and tarot preview. Okay, I'm just going to wait a minute. Got another minute or so here. Can somebody please say hi? I want to know if anybody's out there and you can hear me. I can see myself on the camera this time. I can't hear myself for some reason. Hey, hi guys and gals, are you out there? Please say hi. Okay. All right. Got one more minute to go here. All right. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is Tara Greene. Sorry, I'm repeating myself. Agent 129 of the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, bringing you September's astrology and tarot preview. This is quite a popular feature, and I'm always really happy to do it. So if you haven't been here before, I will just explain how it works. I'm going to talk, and I'll try to talk slower because I tend to talk quite quickly about all of the major astrological planetary aspects that are happening. And then I'm going to consult the tarot, and I'm using a very large sized, so you can see that the most popular deck in the world, the Rider-Waite-Smith deck here, to consult one major tarot arcana for each sign. So you'll have to wait. I'm going to start with Aries and then end with Pisces. Okay. I've also got this other little deck, which I've started to use just to add a little bit of something more interesting. It's a little bit harder to see here. It's called the In-Between Tarot, and it kind of gives you a little extra advice. So I thought, you know, people could use that these days. Okay, so September, we are in the 9th month already. Can you believe it? You know, the 2020 is 3/4 over. We're heading into the home stretch, as they say, you know, in baseball. So it's kind of a paradoxical month this month because, of course, the planet Mars, the red planet, planet of action, the planet that rules the masculine, the planet that rules warriors of either sexes or any sex, and anything you're going to implement or start is in Aries in his home sign, and he will turn retrograde. I refer to the planets as their traditional rulerships in Greek mythology. So Mars will turn retrograde on September 9th and the 10th until November 13th and the 14th in Aries in his home sign, and it will retrograde back from literally almost the last degree of Aries, the 28th, 29th degree, back to the 15th degree, which is the middle of this sign. So what you want to do, everybody, but especially you Aries and Scorpio, is look at, if you have your own astrology chart, you can get that for free on the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. You can also get it if you go to astro.com and look at where 15 degrees, the middle of the sign, until, let's say, right to the end of the sign, is in your own astrology chart. So you know exactly where and how Mars retrograde will be affecting you personally. Okay, now, again, it is a bit of a paradoxical month because as Mars moves retrograde, two planets change sign from being retrograde moving direct, and that is Jupiter, which is going to turn direct on September 12th, 13th, for the first time since May the 14th. So all of those expansive Jupiterian traveling, I know lots of people are frustrated because the borders have been closed because of COVID-19. That should open up to some degree schools, Jupiter rules schools, higher education, kind of a sense of optimism and hope and trust will open up and we'll start to move forward. And then also Saturn will also station direct on September 28th, 29th. And it hasn't been direct since May 10th or 11th. Now, if you look at the sky, you can see very clearly big, beautiful Jupiter up there with Saturn very close, and the two planets will continue to move closer and closer. We're going to be able to really see that right till December 21st on the winter solstice. They're going to almost appear like one big star, which is going to be quite extraordinary. And they're going to meet at 0 degrees of Aquarius. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So the 9th month in the tarot, the number 9, the 9th month, is ruled by the number 9 card called the Hermit. And probably a lot of us are sick of being hermits, right? But we're almost on the verge of a full moon, September the 1st, and then on the 2nd at 10 degrees of Pisces. So because this is the last full moon in that sign, it will bring to a completion all of the full moons that we've been through for a whole year. So this is a really good time to finish, to complete, to do some water cleansing rituals and to let go, okay? On September the 5th, Mercury changes sign. It's going to change sign twice this month. The messenger, the trickster, the merchandiser. Mercury enters Venus's sign of Libra, which is balancing our words and also putting the emphasis on communicating with all others. Okay, justice, in a sense of justice too, because of course Libra is the scales of justice. On September the 6th, Venus leaves Cancer, watery, emotional, family-oriented Cancer, and enters fiery Leo. So bringing that kind of leonine passion and courage and strength and love, opening our hearts. So that'll be very nice. Okay, especially for women, especially Venus rules women. Okay, so big-heartedness. On, again, September 9th, 10th, Mars turning retrograde, okay? Now, that is a big implosion of anger. So all the outward directed energy suddenly gets pulled back. And literally all retrograde planets, I like to think of them as anything that begins with RE, because the symbol for retrograde is a big capital R, little x, like the symbol of a pharmacy. So really, I believe that retrograde planets are all good medicines. But, considering that most of 2020 has been in this held back motion, it's going to be extremely frustrating. People will not want to be held back anymore. So it affects all actions, all energy, the military, sexuality, anger. So repressed anger and passive aggressiveness. Okay, so prepare to reboot everything. So anything that you initiated or started, back to the drawing board, back to ground zero again, in a sense. Okay, so energy may be low, and in some ways, I believe that it means that things are still going to be in this slowdown mode, which can be quite lovely. I mean, we haven't had enough chance to really reflect. There are some really positive things about 2020 and all the COVID-19. There's a chance to slow down. Okay, now, I mentioned September 12th, 13th, Jupiter turning direct. In Capricorn, on the September 17th, there's going to be a new moon at 25 plus degrees of Virgo, featuring a Mercury square Jupiter. Okay, and Mercury, of course, rules Virgo. Okay, so again, this is kind of expansion, contraction kind of energy as well. On September 22nd, the whole season's change. It is the beginning of the autumn equinox here. Of course, in the northern hemisphere, it's the beginning of autumn, of fall. We're getting ready to go into the dark times of the year. Of course, down south of the border, it is the beginning of your spring. So that happens at 6:31 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 9:31 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and 12:31 p.m. GMT. Mercury will also change sign and enter deep, dark, intense, secretive Scorpio on September 27th. So our conversations go kind of into the underworld, underground. Again, it's very sexual energy. So you might be thinking about sex because you may not be able to do it or get it or whatever. So thinking about it, writing about it, journaling about it, it's all in your mind anyway, to some degree. So September 28th and 29th, again, Saturn stations direct. So now I'm going to go through all of the basic aspects here. So besides the full moon, September 2nd, then Venus in Cancer opposes Saturn in Capricorn, which can be good for serious commitments. That Saturn wants to put a ring on it, but it can be family problems, okay, as well, and with traditional things. On the same day, the Virgo Sun trines Uranus, so high-tech stocks and unusual communications and thinking very much outside of the box is a good thing, so take some risks. You will want to reorganize what freedom means to you. On September the 3rd, Virgo, Mercury trines Saturn and Capricorn. They're both at their maximum strength. Again, good time to really think about what you want to create long-term in your career, because people are really rethinking, maybe I don't need to go into work anymore. I want to free up my whole routine, the whole way I work. Okay, that's actually a good thing. On September the 4th, Venus in Cancer opposes Mars in Aries. Again, family arguments. So some of these themes are very much repeating themselves, emphasizing that we really need to deal with them and not avoid them. Okay. September the 5th, Mercury enters Libra. Again, talk about love, lots of socializing, trying to get a balance there. And we need balance because people are really in polarities and they should be seen as complementary opposites. Okay, we need to see that one side in some ways is the same as the other, the flip side. September 6th, again, I'm repeating myself, Venus enters Leo. September the 9th, the Virgo Sun trines Jupiter in Capricorn. That's a great earthy goodness. Might be a good time to initiate a new diet. Venus and Capricorn, Jupiter in Capricorn rules the thighs. And we are going into a new season, so it's a good time to also do a cleanse. Again, Mars moving retrograde the 9th and the 10th, okay? Resistance is also a Mars retrograde energy, and so I think there is going to be a lot of resistance all over the world. On September the 10th, Mercury in Libra opposes Chiron in Aries. Again, this is a defensiveness rebalancing. Now remember, if you have planets in the sign, it will affect you stronger, okay? September 11th, the Sun, it's 9/11, the Sun will oppose Neptune in Pisces. It's a day of compassion and of forgiveness on that day, very dreamy, very psychic as well. Now, on September the 12th, Mercury in Libra in conjunct Uranus and Taurus. So again, freedom versus attachments. You know how Mercury can be very, meticulous, whatever it's into. Again, 12/13, Jupiter stations direct, which is a sense of abundance, coming in. On the 13th, Venus in Leo trines Chiron. Love conquers all fears. Okay, so Chiron in Aries, the wounded healer is in the sign of the soldier. September the 14th, this is a very rich day. The Sun in Virgo, which is usually the sign of servants, workaholics, trines Pluto in Capricorn. It could be a good day to up your ante in terms of your career, a big power play day, good time to make a big move up the corporate ladder or just to change. Pluto in Capricorn is bringing death, rebirth, transformation to everything. On the 15th, Venus squares Uranus and Taurus. Again, unusual pairings. September 17th, the new moon at 25 degrees Virgo is ruled by Mercury, squaring off with Jupiter. Again, relationship imbalances. On the 17th, the 18th, the Sun trines Saturn. It's a great day for those goatfish. That's good for them. Saturn, their ruling planet. On the 18th, Mercury in conjunct Neptune and Pisces. So that's about redrawing your dreams. Redrawing maybe psychic boundaries as well. On the 19th and the 20th, the Sun in conjunct Mars retrograde. That could be a very nitpicky reactions because all in conjunct are things we're not seeing. And this is the sun not seeing actions. So be careful not to be unconscious at that time. On the 20th and the 21st, Mercury in Libra squares Pluto in Capricorn. Again, power struggles, cardinal squares. We went through all those major cardinal squares from 2012 to 2015. On September 21st, 22nd, so on that equinox, rebalancing Venus and Leo in conjunct Jupiter and Capricorn. So again, issues with pride or overdoing things can lead to problems. On the equinox, it's a good time to do ceremony, to do ritual, because all our ancestors used to do that, used to honor the turning of the wheel of the year. Very important to do that and set new intentions for the next 6 to 9 months. Okay. So it's Libra's time then on the 22nd, but Mars is retrograde, right? So thinking about, again, where do you want to be? Mercury in Libra squares Saturn. That's difficult conversations on the 23rd. Sorry, I'm just going to go through my notes here. All right. Venus in conjunct Neptune and Pisces. Yeah, that's the difference between human love and ideal soulmates. So again, that gap might be feeling quite strong at that time. So relationship projections, that's Neptune and Pisces. There's a bit of a glitch in the matrix here. It's like, what is really going on? Now, September 24th, Mercury in Libra opposes Mars retrograde in Aries. So talk about what you're angry about, what's going on below the surface to balance things out, okay? On the 26th, Venus in Leo in conjunct Pluto and Capricorn. Again, love, power struggles, things going on in the shadows, things going on below the surface that may come out, which can be a good thing. It might be a little shocking. There's lots of people who don't want to deal with their shadow side, yet you won't get to the light unless you deal with your shadow. September 27th, Mercury Mercury enters Mars ruled Scorpio. So we're regurgitating maybe old sexual issues, the men in your life, financial and other transformative psychological issues, which need to be re-examined. So again, Mercury in Scorpio there is interesting, balancing out that Mars energy. September 28th, Venus in Leo, again, in conjunct Saturn and Capricorn. If your work is not what you love to do, then, call it a day, reconfigure that. Venus in Leo also trines Mars retrograde in Aries. So old flames and dramatic passions may return. That's a good thing. You can go back and do things you loved in the past or that really turned you on with Mars retrograde. There's a lot of positive things about Mars retrograde. Okay. September 28th, 29th, Saturn turns direct. Again, serious work-related heavy issues can move ahead. Okay. But again, Mars is retrograde, so it's kind of like sort of like driving with the brakes on. We're going to have to wait till, in some ways, later this year till things really move ahead and really into 2021. September 29th, Mars on Aries is retrograde, squaring Saturn and Capricorn. That's a challenging warrior mode, embroilment, explosions, war, danger, power struggles, imploding anger. Beware of people who are passive aggressive, and so you should have some strategies ready to keep that from triggering you as well. Okay. So here we are now. Okay, so this is the part maybe you've been waiting for. Again, this is where I do the tarot aspect. So again, we're moving from the time of Virgo. This is the Hermit, the number 9, and the 9th one, into the time of Libra. So this is the Justice card in the tarot. Sometimes it's the number 8, sometimes it's the number 11, depending on the deck you use. So here's what I'm going to do. I have my special crystal here. I tune in to each sign one at a time, so really you'll have to be patient here while I shuffle the cards and I tune in and I think about what does Aries need most now for this month, again, because you're going to feel that sense of Mars moving retrograde even stronger because it's your ruling planet than anybody else. Okay, so Aries, okay. Now the cards are always totally synced on, right on. I totally trust them. So Aries, you get the Hanged Man. So this is the number 12 in pretty much every deck. The Hanged Man really represents surrender. Mars and Aries, we're that battle warrior. We're going to fight to the finish, but as Mars goes retrograde, you're going to have to get the white flag out and surrender. So stop fighting battles that aren't going to get you anywhere. Stop wasting your energy. Go back, retreat, reconfigure, get a new battle plan for the next 2 months. I know Mars will be retrograde during the election as well. So it's going to be an interesting sight to see. I'm not going to comment more on that. But anyway, the hangman. Now, the hangman can be also where you get blamed for being the scapegoat, okay, for being a martyr, okay, for taking on other people's issues. So again, kind of decide, where am I at in this, and how difficult is it for me to let go and to stop fighting that fight? You're kind of exhausting yourself. If you're feeling burnt out, it's time to retreat. Um, give yourself back the energy, okay? Light your own fire for a change, and just change your patterns up, you know? So the hangman is about surrendering to let the universe do its thing, so whatever it is you've been intending or working with your dream mandalas or your vision board, kind of like, okay, this is where you go, you know what? I can't do it all. I need to rest and renew myself while Mars is retrograde. The universe is going to take care of it. Okay, so Aries, you get the hanged man. Okay, all right. So, all right, so Taurus now. So Taurus now with Uranus in your sign, of course. Uranus is up at about 10 degrees right now, still living retrograde. All right, so Taurus. Okay, you get the card here, number 14. And this is the Temperance Angel. So this is a very interesting card in the traditional Rider-Waite. This is the most popular deck in the world traditionally. It shows this angel tempering two opposites, which you could think of as, black and white, day and night, those sexual polarities, whatever it is, and making something new, making a brand new thing, turning lead into gold was the alchemist's original meaning here. Now, in the deck that I usually use, the Thoth Tarot, this is the card of alchemy, and it's related to the sign of Sagittarius. So, Taurus, it's like you maybe need to re-educate yourself or read a lot or, find a new adventure, temper the parts of yourself that are out of balance. And again, with Mars retrograde, this can give you a perfect opportunity to do that. Okay, perfect opportunity to do that. So you can also call in this guardian angel to help you if you feel out of balance, and literally Mars is the anger planet. This is about tempering your anger. It is about having a bad temper, for example. So maybe the bulls. If you wave the red flag in front of the bulls, they get really angry. So maybe there's some old anger issues that you didn't speak about. Taurus rules the throat that you need to come, bring up while Mars is retrograde and talk about them and reintegrate them and rebalance them. Okay. So Taurus, you get the number 14 here, temperance or alchemy. All right. Now, all right. So please be patient. Again, I wish I could see if people are on there. Gemini. So Geminis. Okay, so you remember that the North Node is in Gemini right now. So in some ways, Geminis, you're leading the way. And in the tarot, you get the card of the Lovers, the number 6, which is traditionally associated with Gemini. Again, this is a card of duality, of the balance of the masculine and the feminine. I know with modern sexual gender things, people don't want to deal with polarities, but polarities are primal. Nothing happens without polarity, okay, in the real world. Okay, you could think of it as negative, positive charges, day, night, however you want, but you need those opposites. So the Lovers, so Gemini, there may be a new love returning to your life when Mars is retrograde. Literally, it's kind of like, yep, an old man, an old flame, somebody from the past. It's kind of almost like a cookbook story that will come back into your life, or picking up an action, an activity that you love to do in a past. It can be also working in a partnership again with someone you dealt with in a past. And again, it's about going back and checking out, am I really loving myself? Am I doing what I love to do? So again, it's Gemini, so it's about talking about it, thinking about it. We're in, up until the equinox, we're in the time of Virgo, which is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury also rules Gemini. So up until the 22nd, let's say, you need to talk about these things. You need to talk with your lover. You need to talk with your friends. The Lovers is not just strictly marriage. It represents, in some ways, all others. So you need to open up your curiosity again and to talk and to balance it out. Oops, oh, something just popped up there. Sorry. All right. So Gemini, I would say look forward to love, maybe an old love. And if there's somebody that you haven't been able to stop thinking about, this would be the time to really let that go as well. Okay. So Gemini, the Lovers. All right. So Cancer. So Cancer, what we need here. Cancer. All right. So Cancer, what you need. Cancer gets the number 21 here, which is the card of the World. So this is the final card in the sequence of the major tarot arcana, which goes from 0, which is the Fool, to 21, which is the World. So this is ruled by Saturn, the world or the universe ruled by Saturn. So this is where, after the Fool's gone through the whole journey of the soul from 0 and gone through all the stages of enlightenment, which is what the 22 major arcana in the tarot symbolizes. This is after you've reached enlightenment, you have to come back down off the mountain and come back down to earth and be in the real everyday normal world and do your laundry and pay your taxes and go to work, okay? Because that's really what it's all about. So this is where you take responsibility, Cancer, for creating everything in your life, for being mature. A lot of you are going through the Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto tests, of course. So this is where you really decide to get grounded, to be in the world, Cancer, to get out of the house. I know everybody's been in the house and at home, to establish yourself in a new way in the world. So it is about maturity, and it's about being free. The number 21 is traditionally always shown as a naked woman representing the soul or the anima, dancing freely in space, surrounded by the 4 major non-cardinal or fixed signs, so Taurus, where are we here? So Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, those are the 4 major signs in the zodiac there. So Cancer, okay, get yourself free. Okay, all right. Universe, take over the world. Okay, storm it in a new way. All right, so Leo. Okay, so Leo, in some ways, things have been a bit quiet for you, I would say. But that's going to change at the end of this year. Okay, so Leos, you get the number 7 here. This is the symbol called the Chariot. And of course, the number 7 is also related to the sign of Cancer. So Leos, maybe you need to be taking care of your family or really get in the driver's seat and take over a family issue. Things can be very up and down, very emotional, very moody. It's Cancer, of course, ruled by the moon. So of course, this full moon and then Venus and Leo may really amp all that up during the month. So the number 7 is always related to timing of cycles. So there's 7 days in the week, traditionally 7 planets, 7 chakras if you do yoga. So it's about knowing, are you at the top of the wave? Are you at the bottom of the wave? You could be feeling quite overwhelmed emotionally at this point because you're also, if you're the charioteer here, you have to hold the horses, you have to hold that power in balance. Some people see this card also as a victory lap. So Leo, if you need to take a victory lap for something, give yourself a big pat on the back. I know you're usually pretty good at that. And it relates to home, family, children. So it could be your own inner child that you need to rein in, perhaps, if they're a little bit too wild or a little bit too anything off the beam here. It could be a need for a trip, kind of maybe a short journey as well. You need to feel that you're in command one way or the other, that you're not just being kind of, everybody's feeling a little bit, of course, at the mercy of whatever the big picture things are going on in the world. Okay, so Leo, you get the number 7, the Chariot. Okay, so Virgo. So Virgo, of course, it is your time. So really make the most of it. Okay, right now. Okay, especially okay, as we're in that time of Virgo. Okay, so Virgo, you get the 0 card here, the Fool. Okay, so the Fool, don't laugh. I know Virgos usually take things pretty seriously. They're very perfectionistic, but this is where you need to kind of lighten things up and don't worry. Now, that is a big challenge for Virgos, the most worrying sign of the zodiac. The Fool 0 is as if you're seeing everything with brand new eyes, with enlightened eyes. That's the symbol of the Fool. Things are brand new, like a child does. So that kind of childlike trust and innocence, that's what the Fool is also about. It's also about a reset, going back to 0, starting all over again. That can be a good thing. A lot of people's work is changing because they're working from home now and not having to go into work. A lot of people's jobs have ended, so they're feeling like, I don't know, they may be worried about money, of course, and the Fool is usually shown as an innocent young boy who just has their small belongings on their back, actually, um, about to step off the cliff. So it is a sign of trust and innocence as well. So really you have to trust that the universe always has your back. You're an old soul. You just have to remember you're an old soul. 0 is also 22 Virgo. And so that remembers that you've already been here before. You've already been through everything that there is to experience. So really there's nothing to worry about. And sometimes if you have an idea or something that you're worried that people might think you're foolish or crazy, all the better. You're in that fool's crazy wisdom. So trust that. Okay, the fool. All right, Virgo. All right, so Libra. Okay, so again, with Mercury entering your sign here, Libra, you get to be the hostess with the mostest, and you get to be the go-between, the ambassador, all of that. Have grace. And there, of course, you do get the symbol of Libra here. Okay, don't you love it how it works? Okay, so this symbol here, it's number 11 in this Rider-Waite deck. It's number 8 in the Thoth Tarot and some other decks. Just depends on which they choose. So Libra gets Libra. So justice, and with Mercury in Libra, of course, you need to really step into that rebalancing, trying to hold that opposition. Libras are not all peaceful and balanced. They'd love to be, but they are always pulled in two directions, always depending on what other people think, always worrying about their social status. Of course, that means you're going to amp up the socializing, the social media, all of that stuff in a new way. So talk about your relationships, talk about love, talk about beauty, talk about art. Libra is ruled by the beautiful planet Venus here. Also, it can mean any kind of injustice issue, very literally, anything that's karmically out of balance that you need to rebalance. Mars retrograde in Aries opposite your sign will also affect Libras quite strongly through that opposition. So wherever you feel injustice, talk about it, speak about it, do something, be a negotiator, step into that role that Libra is really naturally really great at. Okay. So wherever it is you feel there's imbalance in your life on any level, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, sexually, you need to rebalance that energy. It can be also, new partnerships, new relationships coming during this time. So that's all a good thing. And just enjoy, being the Libra energy. It's going to be your time on the 22nd. Okay, so Libra, you get justice. You get your own card. So that amps that up. All right, so now Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio. All right, so Scorpios, you get, let's see what you got here. Okay, Mercury is going to enter Scorpio, right, on the 27th. Scorpios, you get the Empress here. So this is Venus. This is the sign of fertility. She is usually the symbol of the Great Mother, the divine feminine, the goddess, Mother Nature. So Scorpio, this could be a good time for you to get pregnant if that's something you want. With Mars moving retrograde, your action planet, the sexual planet, could be a good time to get pregnant, or not just literally, because you can conceive anything actually. So this is a good time to go back and again and give birth, conceive, nurture, any stage of the pregnancy for anyone. What is it you're wanting to create or recreate at this time? It's perfectly okay to go back, whatever it is you need to creatively tool up, if it's your website or anything, something in your house, something beautiful, something you've obsessed about for a long time. It could be a woman in your life, of course, that you can't forget about, Scorpio. Again, for all your Scorpios, that obsession about people from the past will come up, okay? So you need to be creative with this. The number 3 is creativity. Venus and love. It can indicate love coming into your life. It can be self-love. It can be related to your mother, any women in your life, very literally as well. But a creative project or recreating an old project would be a really good thing to do. And kind of Venus will then, kind of balance out Mars retrograde, of course, which it always does. Okay. If there's a lot of anguish coming up as well, you would call on the symbol of the Great Mother to receive unconditional love. Okay. Again, there might be a lot of frustration, a lot of anger at this time, really try to give yourself that love, or remother, re-nurture yourself, your inner child, There might be an angry inner child that's coming up at that time too, Scorpio, and she's going to need love and acceptance. So that might be another way to work with this card, Scorpio. Okay, the Empress. Okay, step into that role as the goddess, you know. Okay, so Sagittarius. Okay, so Sagittarius, you know that the South Node is in Sag. It's been sitting on the galactic center, very cosmic time, very fated time. So Sagittarius, you get the number 5 here, which is traditionally called the Hierophant or the Pope. Now, the number 5, Sagittarius, is the number sacred to Venus because she makes that 5-pointed pentagram or a rose in her cycle. So Sagittarius, the Hierophant or the Pope is like the sign of Taurus. Now, so what do you need to speak up about? You know, Sagittarius has to tell the truth. So do you need to tell the truth to some kind of religious authority or some kind of truth in higher education? Do you need to step up and be the educator, you know, take that lead role? I mean, ultimately, the Hierophant or the Pope symbolizes that we ourselves are meant to be our own spiritual mediaries. We don't need an outside authority. You know, Sagittarius hate to be chained up or pinned down, even if though it is the side of religion. So there is a nice natural interconnection here between the Pope or any kind of religious authority and Sagittarius. It is the sign of religion. There is man-made religion, which is what the Pope symbolizes, or any kind of a religious hierarchy. And there is, in native tradition, the sense of sacred law, which is what Jupiter, as the largest planet, also represents. So you may want to feel like you have to step in if there's any kind of imbalance and invoke sacred law, which is, you know, how we always feel like, why isn't things done in a just way this way? That is sacred law, human, you know, really sense of being human and just. And so you may have to step out into that. It can also represent love in some ways coming into your life and connecting to your higher self. While Mars is retrograde, this might be a good time for you to really connect or reconnect with your own higher self and write, publish, educate, do a lot of videos. Other people need help. Sagittarius, that is your role as a teacher and an inspirer to do that for others. So I might recommend, Sagittarius, that you step into the role as the Hierophant and listen only to your higher self and speak only through your higher self or your holy guardian angel. All right, that's the number 5 for Sagittarius. All right, now we're at Capricorn here. So Capricorn, okay, please be patient. I wish I could see you on this page here, but I can't. Okay, so Capricorn, you get the number 20 here, which is traditionally called Judgment Day. And as you can see, it represents in Revelations, the book of Revelations, the Archangel Gabriel, who blows his trumpet on Judgment Day, and the dead or the faithful rise again. So Capricorn, where are you being judgmental and holding yourself back? Where are you passing judgment on others? You know, we know that Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, this has been an extremely, extremely intense 2020. They are the initiators, you know, Saturn and Pluto, to all of the COVID-19. And now Jupiter coming along to amp it up. And again, Jupiter and Pluto have one more conjunction to make later this year. So you may need to be calling out for the Archangel Gabriel to free you up on some level. You may be feeling like my old life is totally dead and in tatters, and that is what Saturn and Pluto do. It is not easy. It is not pretty. You can see the whole world economy, the corporate structures, things have changed, collapsed. It happens in people's personal lives. But it is also a rebirth. In some decks, this is called the Aeon or awakening. What is it you need, Capricorn, to awaken to? You know, so listen, the Archangel Gabriel blows his trumpet. You have to listen to your holy guardian angels talking to you, sending you messages, maybe synchronicity. Again, it's a sense of, where do I need to reinvent myself? Again, while Mars is retrograde, you know, squaring that Capricorn energy as well. Where do I need to reinvent myself, retool myself, get my energy back up to speed again, you know, while that's happening? And you may be somebody who blows the horn on something else, on somebody else. You know, you may have to kind of toot your own horn as well. That might be another thing that you need to do at this point. So announce to the world, here I am, you know, and I'm here to help wake other people up. So those of you who feel like you're awake, you know what's going on. A lot of astrologers are feeling we are entering a new age. December 21st, 2020, when Jupiter and Saturn align at 0 degrees of Aquarius, which will still, according to traditional astrology, be ruled by Saturn. But I like to do both. So I feel it's a Saturn rulership again, a little bit different because it's in an air sign, intellectual, detached, and also ruled by Uranus, the planet of freedom and revolution. So maybe you got to get your message together. What is it you're going to blast out there, Capricorn, on any level? Okay, so Capricorn, you get number 20, Judgment. Okay, so Aquarius. All right, we've only got a couple more here, so I hope you've been patient here. Okay, so Aquarius, you get the number 8 here, which is also the number 11 in some decks. I'm not going to explain why. This is the card of strength. You can see this very clearly. This is Leo energy, and it's about Aquarius. This is your opposite side. So it is your shadow. You know, Aquarius is Leo's shadow side, and Leo is Aquarius's shadow sign. And as we're going to move into this Aquarian kind of mini age here for a while, you might want to examine your shadow, which is, you know, traditionally Leo is ego and strength and courage and daring and big-heartedness. It's very passionate. It's very kind of a red, you know, it's red-blooded. It's I'm going to be the leader. I'm going to be the royal, the queen, the king, you know. But I also have the strength to tame my lower animal instincts. Okay. I'm not being run unconsciously. That's what this card is about. Now, again, the woman holding the jaws of the lion open, Aquarius, is the anima, the soul, the really creative, the conscious part of yourself, you know, really bringing balance. The whole thing about the tarot is to bring balance. So where are your strengths, Aquarius? You know, are you feeling a lack of passion in your life right now? A lot of people are. So what do I need to do to get passionate again? As Mars goes retrograde, this can be a very good thing for you. You know, what makes me feel strong in my heart? You know, as we're moving into Aquarius, which is an age of shared resources and non-hierarchical, you know, how do I share the power? And how do I really acknowledge myself and everybody else's power? And how do we share that as well? So because it relates to the heart, it's really important, Aquarius, that you do what's in your heart. Okay, this is very true for Leos, but it's also true for you, Aquarius. So what brings you strength? You know, what makes you feel that passion? Again, Mars, the passion planet, moving retrograde. I'm going to re-examine that. Okay, so use your strength, you know, to help other people. Again, to awaken people. Aquarius is known as the sign of awakening, higher consciousness. How do I wake people up in the most direct, to strengthen them, you know, to give people strength, okay, at this time, and whatever community help or whatever kind of ideas, inventions you can do to help people to feel strong in themselves so we can all cooperate together, the better. Okay, so Aquarius, you get strength, Leo energy. Okay, so now we're at Pisces, and of course, that Pisces full moon is coming in a day or two. So for Pisces, again, you're going to be feeling very emotional, very overwhelmed. It's at 10 degrees Pisces, of course. So Pisces, aha. So you get the number 15 here, which is the devil. Okay, now, the devil is a very complicated card, so don't get scared. Don't freak out there. The devil was created in some ways by the Catholic Church, which was wanting to put down all pagan religions, all feminine-based, earth-based religion, all religions where people felt the goddess was in everything or nature was everywhere. And so you would worship outdoors in sacred groves. You didn't need any alternative, anyone outside of themselves. So to the Christian Catholic Church, the devil was a threat. The devil is also fear and separation. Okay, so whatever it is that scares you the most, Pisces, you know what that is, to deal with your fears and face them head on. You know, ultimately, you know, you can laugh at the devil, and the devil can only hurt us where we're already wounded and weak and unconscious. So the devil represents the shadow of ourselves, our unowned aspects, the people who kind of very new agey going into the light, they don't want to acknowledge the dark. And really the light cannot only is born from the darkness. So if you don't integrate your shadow side, it doesn't mean you need to stay in the dark. It doesn't mean you believe in devils. It doesn't mean you're demonic at all. It means you're owning your own shadow side. Okay. So whatever it is we don't like about somebody else or that triggers us, Again, Mars retrograde, there's going to be a lot of triggers there. We need to see this as, wow, this is an aspect of myself that I haven't dealt with. Once we go through our greatest fears, once we go through whatever has been bedeviling us, or whatever we fear the most, okay, we can change it, we can transform it, okay? We don't want to feed it necessarily. We can then see that the shadow, the devil, all is still part of the light, still part of all creation, okay? And if we deny it and separate it out, it only becomes stronger. So this may mean nightmares coming up for you, also Pisces, because of course your dreaming ability is so strong. They also come in service. They kind of keep repeating to help you to deal with them. So I'd advise you to write them down, to do some water cleanses, to call on your higher self, to call on your guardian angels, to know that you're not alone. You know, the devil is an angel as well, considered to be a fallen angel, but very important. Okay, so not what most people think. I'm a tarot reader, I'm a psychic, I'm an astrologer. I do not do black magic. I don't believe in hexes. I don't believe in any of that stuff. I believe that's all old-fashioned superstition. I don't believe in sending curses or anything like that. That is, you really have to own your own shadow, your own fear. I'm not saying that there isn't negative entities out there. There certainly are. But what I do is really psychologically holistic. Okay, and it's about balance of the dark and the light, which unless you're going to balance and acknowledge both, you're not going to be whole. Okay, so Pisces, facing your fears. This is a time of completion for you as well as everybody else on this full moon in Pisces. So better the devil you know than the one you don't. And the devil is only energy, just like anything else. So if you embrace the devil, if you ask him what he wants without being afraid, that's a dialogue that you can have. Okay, so I hope you understand what I'm talking about here. Okay, all right, the devil will transform into the lovers. Actually, that's the other side of the devil, is the lovers in the tarot. Okay, instead of, there's only two emotions, Carl Jung said, that's either love or fear, and that's really what the devil represents. And the devil is Capricorn as well. Okay, so being caught in the material world. Okay, selling your soul to the devil. Okay, you don't want to do that. Okay, all right. So Cosmic Intelligence Agency fans, this is Tara Greene here signing off. Again, the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, their main page is still off while Saturn and Pluto is sitting on their ascendant. If you want to get in touch with me, please follow me on my own website at taratarot.com or on my blog at infinitynow.wordpress.com. Sending you all the best blessings for September until next month. Blessings to you. Bye-bye.